Hey, what's up, guys? What's up, YouTube? It's Cloudy Kings today, back again, showing you my build right now. This is pretty much my Sever build. We're doing an old school version right now because that's the gear that I was given by the graceful gods of Diablo. They gave me Tyrion's Might and Andariel's Visage, and I noticed that Andariel's Visage and Tyrion's Might was the old school Sever. That's what we used to use all the time. That was the golden like fucking combo. Dario used to be broken, and now it's just doing damage over time. It's great. It's really good. It's really good. Um, so I wanted to talk about like how's my state of summer? What do I think? How I feel about it? Everything like that. We're gonna go through with everything. So with that being said, what's up? Stay a while. Chill out. So I feel like Sever is very good right now. It's in a great position. I think that that you are really like you could be really tanky right now. You can go for a glass candy build, or you can go very, very tanky depending on how you feel. And the tanky option does quite a bit of damage. Like you're tanky at the moment. This is my tanky server, and here, I progressed through the game to my first torment 4, like to get to like the higher pits, like 90, pit 90, 85. I did that with Blood Wave, but I got bored. Like Blood Wave is boring after a while. All you do is spam one skill. But with Sever, like it's so much pretty things on a fucking screen that you're like, oh my god, the damage, and then you got damage over time. So like Sever, with this Sever build, it's like damage over time, right? Andariel's Visage, then you're using your Sever, and then you add Blight on top of that. You can do so much with this build, bro. This build is so good, bro. Hands down, it's so interesting, and because of Andariel's Visage, you're doing damage over time. Plus Blight, the damage is just gonna ramp up, bro. Like you're doing so good damage, bro. Like your damage over time is just going to. So again, what it's making the damage get really good. I'm using Lith right here. I'm using Lith, I think Var for the critical hit chance. This is before because I'm using Lith Xan in my second. When I hit pit 70, I bought a Xan room because I could not find it to save my life. So I was like, fuck it, I'll just buy it. Alright, so Lith Xan Ahu Qax. Alright. There's another alternative. You can do Ahu Om. I like Ahu Om is really good. And Lith Gar if you don't have a Xan room. And if you don't have an Om room, then I don't know what you want to do. But that's just a good offensive build. Alright, I'm showing you my gear. I'm showing you my build right here. Again, Andariels, Tyrion's Might, Sever Gloves, and GA on ints on both my legs and my pants. I need a GA on my ints on my necklace and my great sword. I think a great sword is mandatory for Sever build. You want that critical damage, but ints on your necklace, on everything you got, on everything you have, you want int on it. But with my build right now, I'm lacking on some int because literally I just haven't gotten any int GA rings and or necklace. I got critical chance or critical damage necklace and rings. So I mean, I was like, fuck it. At least something's gonna work, and I have some int and attack speed, and that's really what you're gonna want. Um, build wise, Reaper's Pursuit is really gonna buff this damage. It's gonna buff everything you have. Overpower damage is gonna be great later on, but early on you're gonna want that crit damage. You're not gonna be overpowering. I'm telling you, your overpowers are gonna be shitty. You're gonna overpower once in a blue moon. It's not gonna be like all the time. Okay. Later on in this video, I'll show you the overpower variation of this and how you can do it consistently. It's a very known fact. Everybody got to be using either Lith Xan or Ahu Xan, and then you use the Quacks to double that damage, and you're doing hundreds of millions, billions, and later on trillions damage. Okay, right here I use control node because everything is being controlled. Literally, severs are fearing. Paranado is pulling everybody in. Blight, grasping fangs, everything's getting controlled. Control is literally it's necessary. It's a necessity. We got amplify right here we got the overpower damage and damage while fortified. Mainly we want to amplify there for the overpowered damage. You could use essence or sacrificial here. I'm using the bloodbath for more overpowered damage because overpower is literally carrying my build. We got right here's the wither node because we are a partial dot damage. So I said I'm gonna take wither this time. Last season it wasn't necessary. This season with Tyrion's Might and Andariels with this specific setup, you're gonna want wither damage. You're gonna want that extra damage, and that dot damage is gonna be helpful, especially with the affliction. It's gonna be helpful. And then you got all that right there. That was pretty good. So shadow damage, mad shadow damage over time, and shadow damage. That's all you're gonna get. And then we got Variana. Okay, so right here I'm showing you the Xan version of it, and literally it's so tanky. This build is so tanky. You see all the control, boom, everything explodes. Paranado, super explosion right here, and then you see me with everything going crazy. It's just control, control, control. Everything's getting controlled. Nobody can move. Everything's controlled. Like the control is so good. Then you know you got the little shards. I like the shards. I think the shards are really cool from series like. Um, you have all the shards going crazy. You have all this extra damage. You're doing so much extra damage over time to make up for the fact that you're not doing insane amount of burst damage. You're doing consistent damage here. The goal is a lot of consistent damage, super attack speed. You want at least 80% attack speed. Build. You can go 50%. Honestly, I used to do slow severs with hella big damage. Prefer big severs with medium damage. Like fast, like just fast paced medium damage. And you get all the other benefits on the side. Okay? That's just my opinion. Sever ramps up around an 80% to 100% threshold. But if you can't get there, the 40, the 50, no, I'd say the 50% to 60% is really good for attack speed. I've been testing it. It's really, it's good. You'll be good enough, and then just use the potion and 75%. All right. Now, if you want to talk about, again, we're going to talk about the damage and Lith Xan again. Like, talk about how you're getting a consistent damage, right? Critical damage and vulnerable damage is going to be your best friend. And then on top of that, you're going to have overpowered damage. I don't like you use the Qax, especially with my build consistently right now. My only problem with my Sever build right now is the simple fact that I wasn't lucky enough to get a primary resource to my weapon. Okay, I had to use my enchant on int. So I literally had max GA life, and I put that on my int, put that int on the side. And then I think I had what critical damage was another one, so I'm just getting like more, just a lot of damage. But you know, yeah, like, but then for my rings, I'm using sacrifice. Using sacrifice. I'm using days. So we got the days for like the 22% damage, I think right now. I'm using greater feast. Greater feast is the great feast is really good, bro. But again, if you don't have the essence to control it, then you're not gonna like it's gonna ruin you, okay? And then on top of the great feast, so I got sacrifice, great feast, grafting veins, and the shadow. And then on top of that, you know, we got the Sever splits to 3. That's literally all I'm doing, bro. Like, it's just this simple Sever build that's just AOing everything. Now, if you want to talk about gear, right? Like, gear choices and everything like that. Again, when we talked about gear earlier, like, I'm gonna really have a deep talk about the gear. For your leg gear, you don't want to use the Blood Moon's legacy, the Blood Moon legs anymore because they nerfed that. I feel like they nerfed it completely. It used to be overpower leg gear, and now we got other things that replace it, but it was really good for it being like it could be used for everything, and now it's mainly just for critical damage now. Before it was overpower damage, now it's just critical damage, right? You don't need the Banished Lord's Talisman. I don't recommend the Banished Lord's Talisman for anybody. I don't like it. We don't use a Grandfather, and we're not using Bone Spirit. There's literally no reason to. It's literally no reason. You can use it. However, I personally wouldn't use it more. I have builds on me using it. I have great builds on me using it in last season. But this season, I'm not there. There's no point in you using that unless you're using a Bone Spirit Sever build, which I've done, and it does work perfectly fine. It just used with the grandfather, and you want a certain amount of max resources to make it work. Preferably about 175. You want every 2 bone spirits, or every 1 or 2 bone spirits, and then your Sever crits. Bone spirit, Sever, bone spirit, Sever, and it does work without using bone cage. It works very well. Like, that build works too. Like, it's another good Sever build. I just don't like using bone spirit. Like, I don't. It's not my thing. Like, it's good, strong. It's strong as hell. It carried me last season. I didn't like it. After a while, I went back to full Sever, and yeah, I'm back. So yeah. Again, for your necklace, the ebonpiercer actually got majorly buffed, which is crazy. Like, I'm not even on cap. Like, people don't understand that ebonpiercer got a huge ass buff too. Like, that Reaper's Pursuit, I got a greater GA on my ebonpiercer amulet that with greater Reaper's Pursuit +7. Holy shit. Reaper's Pursuit right now is literally good as hell. Per each skill, that is a shadow skill, you gain, the base is 2%. I'm at 6%. +7 on top of that. How much is that? How much is that? You would gain so much more damage right now. That is so strong right now. And then you have Gloom too. Gloom, Reaper's Pursuit is really good. Those two together is optimal right now, bro. If you can get either a Reaper's Pursuit or a Gloom Amulet, then like you're great. Me personally, I would go for, as a Sever build, I would go for a max GA int, or I will go GA int, then +2 or 3 to Gloom, and then attack speed or Reaper's Pursuit. Attack speed and or Reaper's Pursuit, because to me those are just the best in slot right now. Okay, like if you can get a GA on int on a necklace, and you have attack speed on the side, you are golden for the rest of this like patch right now. And then if you get Gloom on it too, or you get a passive amulet, you get Gloom on it and everything like that, bro, you can be set. You can also go the chilled route. Have your a lot of your attacks freeze enemies, and that actually works with Sever, because like the more you freeze enemies and control them, the more damage you do. You get like another, like, for if you get 3 out of 3, you get like 9. I think it's an 8% additional damage, and then another 8% damage on top of that if they frozen. So if you control an enemy and then if they're frozen, you get another 8%. So that's 16% additional damage. I think multiplicative, not additional, and that's a lot of damage, bro. That is a lot of damage that you could be getting from that. I'm telling you, I used to do the frozen build last patch. It's like season 7, season 6. And I need to try it now, but the frozen Sever is really good. It's really good. There's great damage, great control. If you like control, you like explosion on your screen, kind of like the rogue build, the alchemist rogue build, then that's gonna work out fine for you. Again, this is just me showing you pit 70 as a Sever build, not a blood wave build. Everybody's doing blood wave, everybody's doing blood spears. Nobody's doing anything else. Like, there's just now, and they're boring, because I'm not. I want to get outside the box. I'm going to use them. I have a blood spears build, and they look cool as shit. Don't get me wrong. However, I'm a Sever boy. I love Sever. Sever's my #1, and then I'm gonna try everything else. Spirit Wave has been carrying though. Like, if you can't get through any of your content, you stuck, bro. Go get you a 2-hand mace and put overpowered damage on it, and go put, go get you your stuff. Go make you a blood wave build, bro. Blood wave is gonna carry you through at least to Torment 4, bro. Blood wave is so good. Anyways, on topic, this is showing how tanky while I was AFK, I was having a phone call. This is showing how tanky Andariel's Visage Bacteria like is, bro. Very tanky. Alright, so I'm just showing you, like, you can AFK in this build, still live.
You said
It's
what?
crazy, right? Crazy, right?
Yeah, man. Why?
Crazy.
Say something.
Anyways, thank y'all. Love you guys. And y'all have a good day.
Oh, you just came from my neighborhood? Oh, damn.